Cool. Awesome. Okay, awesome. What's up, guys? Jam and Jessie, backstage, BB&T, with the boys, the dudes, Blink 182. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. We did this in Atlantic City. This is like deja vu.
Yeah.
Okay, album's coming out on Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
First question, do you guys celebrate in a specific way? Do you maybe have a glass of wine? Do you high-five each other? How do we celebrate album release?
We were playing a giant show in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center
This Friday night.
this Friday night.
Awesome.
Yep,
Okay.
that's our album release party.
All right, let's go back into, you just released that Ric Ocasek cover
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Are you allowed to tell us what that show was for?
I don't even remember what the TV show was. It was a TV show about a Los Angeles detective who I think that there's mysterious, perhaps supernatural crimes that he's investigating, and it drains at his soul. And what they wanted was this Cars song done really sparsely. They wanted lots of open space. They wanted it kind of droney and eerie so that it would set a mood, and they would have an investigator go around, and there'd be people talking over it, and they could edit it up like that. And it didn't go anywhere, and it's just been sitting on a hard drive for, I think, like 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer. And then when Ric Ocasek passed away the other day, I was like, oh, yeah, we have that song that I did. So I just put it up.
It's so eerie. It's really, really beautiful.
Thank
I
you
really,
very
really,
much. I'm glad you
really
liked it.
enjoyed it. I want to talk a little bit about the post that you, I think maybe it was last week, you had talked about connecting with fans and Adam's song and seeing people in the crowd weeping over that song. It really resonated with me because I actually saw a couple friends of mine on Instagram. They took your post, they screenshotted it, they put it on their story, and on Twitter, I'm like, what did Mark say? And I'm reading it, and that was really profound to feel that connection with your audience like that. What specifically is it about Adam's song that does that to you?
I just really noticed it on this tour, especially because we haven't played Adam's song in a long time. It's just a difficult song for me to play emotionally. But obviously, we're doing the Enema of the State 20th anniversary tour, so we're playing it in that. And I've just seen people throughout the tour holding on to one another and crying. And it would happen the other night in St. Louis, and I walked off stage, and I was like, wow, that's really heavy. And in fact, like, when I've seen people do that, I've tried to acknowledge them or point at them or give them a thumbs up, and it's just a weird thing that a song that I wrote 20 years ago about a difficult time in my life, people are reacting to 20 years later at a show, and it's cathartic for them in some way, and it's kind of what music really has the power to do.
I love that. Hell yeah. Okay, tell me a little bit about that bass that went to the Trevor Project, or that money got donated from that bass to the Trevor Project.
Yes. I was on Twitter one day, and I saw this whole thing about a straight pride parade, and I thought that's absolutely ridiculous. The last thing that the world needs is a straight pride parade. Straight people have never been.
Like white pride parades always go so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Like, straight people have never been discriminated against, have never had to battle against anything. We've always been given the benefit of the doubt, and I thought it was just so ridiculous. I'm like, I'm going to sell one of my basses and donate another $5,000 on top of it. So we reached out to the people at Reverb who deal with selling instruments, and it went on auction. It sold for like $6,600, and I had another $5,000, and we donated all of that to the Trevor Project, who are a group that has hotlines for LGBT teens and people having a difficult time with that.
I love that.
Did they do the wall down in Florida where that kid got killed? Is it the same people?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think it is.
They're a great group of people doing a great thing, and I wanted to support it. And I've done a bunch of stuff with them before. I've actually hosted Drag Night Bingo down in West Hollywood, and they just, it's a cause that I think is worth people paying attention to.
I think it was the same thing in the news, that straight pride parade thing. That just ignited fire under me and fury, and wow, that made me so angry. So that's interesting that's what did that for you. What happens to the spinning drum kit after the tour?
Just sits in some warehouse.
What?
And doesn't spin anymore for a while. Yeah, unless we go back out and we use it again. But honestly, we usually switch it up, or I usually switch it up and just, I don't even come up with it. There's like a whole team of people. It's the same people who flew Kanye on his tour, and they did Travis Scott's like roller coaster, Tommy Lee's roller coaster, and I just say like, whatever you present to me, I'll do,
That would be really fun to have in your backyard.
There's a giant warehouse down by LAX that has everybody's set pieces from Dr. Feelgood tour and Madonna's Like a Virgin tour, all these giant weird monsters and heads and ramps and set cart pieces. It's pretty crazy.
It's awesome.
This big pulpit. I remember when we were in there one day. This big like Oswald Mosley thing.
It's awesome. All right, guys, you've done a lot. Okay, there's a lot of things that you've seen. Is there anything bucket list wise, maybe for a Blink tour in the future, or maybe for yourselves in the future, somewhere crazy that you'd like to play?
I feel like we've been blessed to get to do a lot of different cool stuff. I don't know. I feel like we've gotten pretty lucky to play giant venues and cool places, and to be able to continue doing. I mean, we've been playing this venue right here, which is giant, for 20-something years, and I guess bucket list was probably hit a long time ago.
That's awesome.
I would like to parachute into Transylvania and play a show there, dressed as a bat.
We've kind of like played everywhere, so I just kind of like wake up and I don't really make one place better than the next. It's all the same, you know what I mean? And just whether there's 3 people in the crowd or 30,000 people in the crowd, whatever, give the same performance, have the same amount of fun, I think.
I love that answer. Okay, one last question. 9 is out on Friday. You have an awesome album release party happening in Brooklyn. There is an EP coming. Is that something that's coming quickly after 9, or maybe something for next year?
I think it might take a second to get it together. We want to do a bunch of cool stuff, and 9 gets released, but that doesn't mean that the work on the record is done. I think Matt and I are going to go over to Europe and do some promotion over there, probably come back and we have a few more shows in the States, and then the holidays hit, but we're always working and always down to record, so hopefully it comes together quickly, but it'll probably be a few months at least.
Okay. Awesome. We're excited for the show tonight, and we're at BB&T with Blink 182 backstage. Holler, guys.
Thank you.